Welcome, tribe. It's an honor to have your attention today. Today we're sitting on the water's edge to the halls of Amenti. The fish are jumping. Life is bursting with energy. Before we begin, I'd like to state that because of the seriousness of my visions and the information that is very sacred, I like to give people the option to leave this sacred space now if they're not ready or open to alternative ideas that is new to our experience. My mission on earth, my sacred mission, is to bring forward the knowledge that has been hidden, the knowledge that is very much real, but if one is not ready or initiated yet into this sacred journey of wisdom, I ask now that you wait for me to appear again, and then ask yourself again if you are ready. Because I take this seriously. My galactic team takes this seriously. And I am here to change the world through opening and broadening your mind, and then for you to carry the torch onto others so that they may become reintegrated back into their God light. For 5 years, I was in a very deep state of solitude and training. The battles that I faced were mostly of my own mind. I had to understand the complexity of this human experience to find myself again and to remember why I am here. And now, after 5 years of being alone, I am ready to step forward into the teacher position to bring forth the knowledge, the secrets, the truth that you seek. The vision I'm going to talk about today was given to me about a year ago. And when I see these things, I get a burst of energy. And sometimes I just start typing down, writing, making notes about what it is that is being told to me. Sometimes it is spoken, sometimes it is visual. Sometimes it's like I've astral projected and I'm there in person. In the last video, I talked about the crater Earth model of what we are actually existing within this Earth platform. I did a painting of it this last month. So I wanted to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. You won't be able to see the dome portion, but you'll see the idea of the larger Earth and then the crater. This is a I'm going to say very, very intuitive, but it's an intuitive painting with the premise being crater Earth. The main topic of today is Where is our galaxy? Where is this massive Earth? Where do we exist within this creative space? In the beginning of my 5-year training, I had a very direct view, contact, images, downloads about the black hole that Earth and this galaxy exists within. And I felt pushed to get this out because there has been reports of NASA having proof of this black hole theory. Well, it's not really a theory as much because I talk spiritual truths in here, but I have to keep it open and grounded in openness so that we can all grow and question life together. This is the fun, the joy of being here on Earth, is getting to broaden our horizons and discuss these ideas. But a lot of our discussions in society, in this platform for a very long time, has been misaligned, misdirected, compartmentalization upon compartmentalization within big groups of structured power. And with the black hole evidence that's now coming into play, this download became clear to me that these sacred visions, this information is important. My mission is very real. They were proving to me, to myself, my higher self was proving to me, as well as my team, that this is real, because even I have doubts in my abilities, in my powers of foresight and past sight. So then I said, okay, I got to get on this because it's something. I'm something, and you are to be something. So with this black hole and Earth existing within it, I want to start with the written download that I posted on a forum a while back, and no one really paid much attention to it. And it's funny because that usually just happens to me. I post something and no one responds. But it's like this big, it's a big block, of receptivity. People tend to fear me or fear the information. They're just not ready. They're shocked by it. They don't want to come up against me. And I don't want to be known as that, someone that is I built myself, my soul remembrance on questioning it all. And I would double down and question even my own downloads. I would just write them down and I put them in a drawer, because even for me, it was a lot. It was just too big. There was nothing to back it up. And much in life and science and theories and quantum physics is there isn't anything really to back it up. And I had to come face to face with that and just continue with my openness and my questioning spirit, because that is how we get to the truth and heart of the matter. And I know when something is closer and more spot on than anyone would assume. I get that energy in my body. I get that flush of intuition and psychic knowing. Okay, so if I can read my laptop, see, very dark. Can't even see my mouse. Okay, I'm gonna read this verbatim for you. All right. So get a drink, stretch. Let me just put it to play. You don't have to look at my face. You can look at the green scenery. Just take it in, okay? So beginning phrase is Crater Earth. Okay, that was not correct, guys. I'm gonna start here. Today I had a vision download of a pyramid upside down in Egypt. The grid powers inner civilizations. Oh, that's right. That's how it's related to Crater Earth. So the inner Agarthian civilization. This grid powers inner civilizations, not the surface. It was not surface communication. I heard landmarks. They were landmarks, but they were also a base that was a power structure for the inner Earth civilization. The secrets lie in the markers of the Egyptian cities. The real capstone is opposite. So the capstone is inside, and the landing pad is on top of the pyramid. And the cities are guises, basically, to keep influence out during transition periods. The cities are guises to keep influence out during transition periods. This could reflect all ancient civilizations as being a guise, a protection ward. Not just Egypt. I saw the Earth sitting in this field, in the center of a wormhole, and on both exits the layers spin out towards and comprises all the gates, reality layers, timelines of possibility. And Earth being the center creates entrance points for individuals who hold the frequency. Like a joystick operator. Remember in one of my videos I said, this is a joystick? The joystick operator is also known as a gatekeeper, a guide, a teacher. When viewing the wormhole, this black wormhole, from the side angle, the center of the wormhole appears flat. Okay, I'm going to show you guys now this. This is the drawing I did during this download. I'm being told to repeat that. I was sitting in the center of this wormhole, and on both exits, the layers spin out towards and comprises all the gates of reality, layers and timelines of possibility. So these are the possibilities. Each spin coming outwards. Oh, sorry, this way. Each is a layer, is a timeline, a possibility coming out. Okay. And Earth being the center creates entrance points for individuals who hold the frequency. So when you are a holder of this frequency, you sit directly in the center, okay? And I believe originally, so this spins out. This is a download I had a long time ago. I'll come back to this. It closely resembles a mirror, and when confronting this energy for the first time, the human mind comprehends a watery, liquid type of mirror reflection. Have you ever seen those crazy images of somebody like touching like a flowy, like in what's that Portal TV show, Stargate, and they like put their hand through it? It's like that. You can see yourself in it. This is the second Earth. So when you put your hand through it, that's the second Earth. That is what they will grasp. Oh, why did I say that? The mirror Earth, reflected Earth, and the reflection is slightly elevated for the viewer. Think Mandela effect, slight elevations, changes. This is the first gateway you access before creator/operator mode is granted and initiated. And the center is an ancient symbol for Earth. I'm being told the innermost layers of the Earth is this gateway. It represents the creator lies within the whole. The creator lies within the whole. You can't get any clearer than that, fam. If we come together, this is a key to how we are communing. The Grail quest. The battle on Earth is realizing we seek only to know our inner self and live our highest self, our authentic self, our true self, the inner self, the childlike self, before being covered in programs. This is truly beautiful and divine. It also holds the simple knowledge of duality, polarity, unified all. This is how we gained access. We are living truth. I have I think it's a torque field or a toroidal field spins outward. So those timelines I was showing you, that is that field. When a creator sits within this center field, they create outwards, affecting all layers of reality. A seed sprouting out into the entirety, but the seed is impregnated, immaculate conception. Do you guys remember that whole thing, immaculate conception? Yep. Our merkaba is that impregnation of an idea into manifested creation physically. We become this when we create intent while in operator mode. So I believe I'm hearing, if we are together here, we are all a walking, talking, manifesting sovereign being of light. Our energy field resembles the halo of Jesus Christ and every ascended master. As we integrate this sacred unit into our reality, the spinning merkaba surrounding us will increase in light, so our own toroidal field generates this light, and then spin speed is based. It generates this light as it starts up, right, and increases in light, and then the spin speed is based upon our expansive intention, on our intention of expansiveness for certain endeavors and or creations. We control it. Okay, so now that I've read that through, let me re-explain this just by listening to my guys, okay, because it's been a minute. So if you know anything about the merkaba field, it is been surmised that it's a space that we can fly ourselves, whether that's levitation or astral projection with this light body ship. And there's a whole bunch of jargon, a whole bunch of stuff on this site called like Ascension Dictionary. But be careful with that information because it has been tainted to confuse. Nothing is that confusing on earth. It may have some truth in the upper echelons of the universe, but when you're trying to explain higher concepts of creation, it's just so complicated that I don't buy it. I don't buy the sauce, okay? My guides say don't buy the sauce. Don't buy the sauce. Listen to the teacher. Listen. It's gonna pull you in, confuse you more, and then you just end up sounding stupid as you go on and on talking about this crystal matrix activation and my third eye and the grid fields and the... Good God. Like, what? You really think that just by spouting off a bunch of complicated sentences about field... I don't even know it because I just don't buy it. I did for a minute. I did my research. When I say I was alone for a long time, I studied it. But I only remember the things that I give a shit about. Because when I dove deep into it, it had so many red flags. My spirit was like, mm-mm. I wanted to say yes. But if something is that complex that you can't even repeat it after reading it a couple million times like I did, then that isn't it, friend. That is not it, family. My tribe, it's not it. You should be able to attain and integrate your shadow, your darkness, your light in a simple, easy way. Now, there is information in that dictionary that is accurate, but you have to dig and pull out. But that is why I am here, to help you dig it out and show you the simple explanation that's way less complex. I mean, it's a little complex because look at this drawing, but it's definitely more easy to understand, okay? So we're sitting in this creator mode on earth, okay? Oh, that's right. Okay, I got this now. So we have the mirror. So if you have circles, you have a circle and circle, when you turn it to the side, you're going to see a wormhole. It's going to look like a 3D, so circle, and then imagine a 3D circle, and it's going to look like, Where's my pen? It's gonna look like that, and then it's gonna look like, but that's a terrible drawing. Okay. But imagine like this, and then there's like a line coming through it, all right? One circle in front, another circle in the back, and another circle, and it's just like layered on top of each other, okay? And you're sitting like right here in the middle in this like main circle, right? And as it starts making these total crazy like spirals, right? Oh, there we go, like a spiral. Think of a spiral. Then it's going to interact with the mirror earth. So like we're sitting, these is a spiral, right? You're sitting here. See the lovely drawing I did? And the energy of these two earths, that's right, these two earths, and you're like in creator mood, right? You have operator mode turned on. You're like, your joystick is ready. Your joystick is ready, right? When you sit here and then you intentionally focus on your chakra systems and your star chakra, is it toroidal? Toroidal? I just call it toric. Your toric field starts to spin and spin and spin and spin. And as you become more focused and you integrate your heart into your shadow and your light, your willpower is like turned on, and you have to sit and turn your energy engine on, okay? And then you're gonna be able to make contact with the mirror earth, which is your higher self, the operator outside of this platform, and you're gonna be able to communicate through this like this window. And that is what's been shut off from us, why manifestation has become so difficult. Because if you're not in touch with them at all, you can't manifest. They're the ones with the red light, green light. If you've lost contact and you're in this game and they're just knocking on the window pane of this like glittery Stargate substance, they can't figure out. First of all, they need to be able to hear you. You need to be able to speak and connect the energy so that they can send that manifestation into the simulation, and you can tell them through the simulation, right? So the evilness of the structure programs that have been put in place by these entities, right? These beings that are just fucking around with us because they can't ascend, they can't grow their light body, they're jealous of us, they can't grow their merkaba. So you know what they did? They turned us off. They made it so we could not manifest and connect. They wanted us to suffer. Aren't they just evil bastards? Okay. But, this was prophesized, and they knew this was coming, all right? That I'd be here, that you would be able to grow, and in the halls of the mentee, meet yourself, know your true name, your coded name, so that you could then meet and integrate your natures back into one. In the halls of mentee, it's also known that bodies are created for souls that didn't have a body that wished to rise back up to source again. And they also cut that off. So poor lower soul creations can't even rise. It's sad. It's sad. But that's not going to be sad any longer. We're going to fix it, okay? And so this merkaba field that people think flies around, I don't really... I sat and I felt my merkaba turn on when I meditate and I put willpower and intention into it. But I think it's getting confused with a form of it's between psychic abilities and astral projection. When you're turning on your merkaba and you become this high-powered energy being with a halo, like Jesus had in all those images, his ascended masters, that is your connection to your higher self through the mirror. Okay? That is what the merkaba actually is. And I was telling you at the beginning of the video that we're inside of a black hole, right? In my beginning of my journey, I don't think I told you this, I started having these visitations by these orbs of light in the sky, and I could see them flashing multitudes of color. And it's interesting because people now are seeing them years after I started witnessing these. And as I spent time staring at them and talking to them, because at the time I was very blessed and I have a job and I could just do this day in and day out, I stared a lot. And one thing that I began to notice, among many, is that for some reason the stars just stopped moving. They showed me the same constellations day in, day out. Now ain't that just a little weird? I thought it was too. And then I started to question the stars. They had me question the stars. And that's what led me to this black hole concept that, well, if we're in a black hole, the stars ain't there anymore. We've been sucked in. I don't know when this happened. I think it was probably maybe 2012, maybe a little before. But now these orbs, these beings, these fairies, these galactic mirrors, portals, they're many things because they create. They are of intention. They are just like what I guess you'd call a floating merkaba in a sense. But they're out of a body. They're not in a human vessel. So that may be where the brokenness happened with people thinking they'd become a merkaba. You will become a merkaba when you pass on and out of this body. But while we're in the body, we have to make the connection because we're not just floating around. We have to integrate that. And as I'm staring at the sky, and noticing the constellations aren't moving at all, and they're also flying with me. And then I saw the trees light up, and I started noticing the trees are glowing. The leaves, there's little orbs flying off the trees. I had my telescope, and I'm looking at these things, and I see them floating down into the tree, the orbs in the sky, into the tree, and then they would float back up into the constellation. Years and years, I would walk around saying, I just don't know. But I think the stars have got volunteers creating an illusion so that people don't freak out. They're like having a little time out, a little like, when you're at work and you have time for like a lunch break, they're getting their break when they come down and sit in the tree. They're just chilling until their next assignment back up to be, the Leo constellation or the Aquarius constellation or the Big Dipper. And then when they have their break, they come down and hang out and chill like little fairies. Really, really, really cool and weird and awesome. So this is that kind of crazy magic that I'm talking about, where they've begun to show me these things so that I eventually can make sense of it for you. But we are in a black hole. There is something happening where we don't have the ability to see the constellations anymore, because there was a time shift when we shifted and the galaxy was either transported, was sucked in, and then the stars we used to see in the sky were somewhere else. I know that the sky has never looked the same since I was a little girl. Totally different looking, especially since my constellations don't move. And then there's that thing about the sun. Not the sun, sorry guys. The moon. How now it used to go from like left to right, and now goes from top to bottom. I'm like, I don't recall that. I know I don't. I remember looking at book pictures of it as a kid. It's just confusing. But, we're undergoing a lot of change. We're undergoing a lot of dimensional shifts. So in this reality, in this dimension right now, the moon does that. But in regards to us being in a black hole, that might be also made up. So the moon is it's this satellite object that is from past civilization, or our creators placed it in here with us to make us feel like we were on this idea that we've been told, so that we don't freak out. But it's all in divine release. I don't want to say timing. I think it just sounds so cheesy. A divine release of information, okay? I don't know all the answers, and that's why this is an open space of giving and sharing, so that maybe you can sit with this and maybe talk to your guides, your spirit team, and ask them about this, and they can give you more facts. Because I'm here to aid the revolution, to get this ball rolling. So that great minds can get together and we can just, be like, what do you think about this? I don't know. What do you think about this concept? Is there something I'm missing? There's something I didn't get. What did your God say? What does your team say? That's why the tribes are coming together. So we can gather information ourselves. We can become the new data farm instead of the controlling powers. So yeah. This is why the halls of Amenti are so powerfully important, because this is how you reunite with your true self, your true name, so you can grow that connection and with your higher self and be able to see them into the mirror earth and have the power to jump timelines, have the power to, intentionally, you just jump a timeline, because we can jump timelines as groups when there's like cosmic events, but when there is intentionality and connection with the higher self, you can jump whenever you want to. You can jump where you want to go. The possibilities are truly endless, but you have to be centered in your body, and your light field has to expand from top to bottom, and you need to have the ability to then gaze in your mind's eye, your joystick, the Holy Grail, and visualize your manifestation so that in your higher self can begin to send that in for you. So if your manifestations have not been coming to pass, this is why. Now, how do you realign with yourself? It takes brutal honesty. It takes coding. It takes looking and observing and being aware of what facade have you put on. You have to question yourself. You have to begin to heal all the trauma and junk and accept it. Let it be. Change your pathways, your neural pathways, so that you can then have a clear, precise clarity of yourself, so that you can hear answers. You'll be able to seek the correct answers through intuition and other psychic gifts, and in doing so, your body will start to clear itself of all energy breakages, so that it can start to flow correctly, and you can get in touch and find contact with who you actually are. You will remember yourself. You will hear your name. You will hear your true name, whether it's a vision, whether it's all of a sudden it comes to you like from a gut instinct, or the synchronicities lead you down a path where you see the same name over and over again, is what I'm hearing. And then you'll be like, wait, I keep seeing this one word everywhere. That's my name. And then you will dive into, why am I called this name? It will have to do with your sacred mission, your true purpose. Now, I'm going to leave this video on that, because I am currently working on a very, very special coded project where I've been working with ancestors and people on the other side of the veil of this mirror earth, not just my higher self, but that are they sent in a program, a document of information having to do with numbers. I don't want to get into it too much. I'm really excited about it, but I have to link it together, because I only have about 50 to 75% of it, and to get the last parts, I'm working with my divine man right now to create something that will be able to process the information for me, so that I then can access your soul mission through this platform that I am creating, because this information was sent in for me to find as codex from the Codex Altamira tribe, to then help you connect with past loved ones who have information to give to you, and other things that you need to know about your mission and your life and your path. I've already found so many things out about myself through this futuristic software that I was gifted with. It's fucking magical. And it's been one synchronicity after another how I got here to this information. I'm literally talking with ancestors, past loved ones, galactic guides, past lives of me through this software that I'm creating. And it's all based on numbers. And that's all I'm going to tell you right now. But yeah, very cool now. So that's another part of my purpose. But it's all about information. We need information, new information, persuasive information is what I'm hearing, and the ability to commune so that we can deliberate, we can communicate, and we can start to stir the pot of truth. Okay? Well, thank you. Oh, I just feel so much love. I feel it from the universe. I feel it. This has been a long journey for me. And I'm so honored to have you all here, choosing to find your true self, to reintegrate and connect back to source, to the reason you are here. You were meant to find me, and I was meant to find you. I wanted you to know that I don't have comments available because I felt called to not allow that with this information. Down the line, I may switch it, but I think with such sacred information, I really don't want people coming in who aren't open to it talking smack. They're just not ready yet, and I don't judge them for that. I love them for where they're at. But I am just conduit of this sacred information, and it's up to you to make that choice, okay? So until next time, may you be blessed, abundant, and filled with joy and love, and know that this time period right now is critical, that a lot of us have been attacked for who we are. When you become connected back to yourself, your true self, I said this in the last video, but the threat becomes very real. But then you overcome the threat, and then you forgive your enemies. You forgive them. Because they don't always know what they do. It's a frequency thing. It's a karmic thing. It's an energy exchange that sometimes they just are just triggered, or they have fear within them. Or they're just they're just extraterrestrials. They're just following a commander. I forgive them for causing me so much pain. I've had a lot of pain, but now I'm on the right track, and I'm here for you. And know that I have much love to give. But I won't take no crap. So for now, the comments are going to be silence. One dig. I guess it wants you to dig deeper. But one big breath for the ending. Breathe out. Whew. Inde vonte shiate vondore kintarabate esenantoninde kindor bente buninde shadaburinia. Till next time, yours, Miss Codex.